Welcome back to the O'Shea Blogcast channel. This is the second episode of the Brother Pill podcast, episode number 2. I'm here with my legendary buddy, friend, Steve the Dean Williams. I can guarantee you by the time that this becomes up to 100. And my brother, Dynasty Amir, just joined, so we're going to be turning it out tonight.
Good. What's up, D?
We had the best flat top in the world, man. I just it's just so aerodynamic, ain't it? You see that?
I put that. I put this napping gel in it. You know some hair. O'Shea, when we get that transplant, you get that transplant done, I'm gonna get you a new supply of this napping gel.
You lucky you ain't the NFL athlete, because I can't whoop you. I wish I could pick up a pack of wheat bread and beat the shit out you. But anyways, listen, brothers. Welcome you guys to the because you still too athletic for me. I gotta wait till you get about 50. But I'm glad you guys are here. Listen, today's topic, we're talking about the ban that Donald Trump has on transsexuals. Before we do that, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I will let Dynasty introduce himself and let Steve D introduce himself to the audience. If you guys don't know us. Hey, my name is O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'm one half or third of the Brother Pill podcast with my buddy Steve D Williams. We're just starting this to see if you guys like it. You can find me on my other channel, main channel, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Check out my blog, www.negromanosphere.com. And what's going on? Let's let Dynasty open it up also.
What's up, man? Dynasty Amir. Glad to be here. Shout out to the homie O'Shea. You know, like you said, I need to pull up a blow up bed and just go ahead and camp out at your page. Follow me on Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Search YouTube Uhuru, all one word. So, thank you for allowing me to come onto your chat this afternoon, O'Shea.
No problem. And then last but definitely not least.
Thank you, O'Shea, for having me on. Guys, Steve Dean Williams here, relationship sex expert here, teaching guys how to get pussy without spending any money. Check me out every Tuesday and Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Man Mindset, where we do live radio shows. Thank you.
Okay. Let's talk about the president here, if we can. And we have two conservatives and one Pan-Africanist, which is a Dynasty. Since the president has been in office, he's definitely shaking up the country, and now we hear about this supposed ban on transgenders in the military. Now, the president himself is citing that one of the reasons that he's looking to do this is because of the impact of cost that it will have on the military, and so therefore, it's not necessarily because they're transgender or their sexuality. What he's pretty much saying is, hey, it's going to cost too much. But he also made some points about we need more cohesion in the military. What do you guys think this is really about? Is this attack on the LGBT community, in your opinion, Steve?
No, I think it's like he said. See, it's kind of hard not to see it as an attack, but again, you have to look at the big picture of things. Like you said before, it's going to be pretty pricey to do something like that, and again, I have nothing against anybody who chooses to be to suck dick or eat some pussy or whatever. I guess I don't know what to say that, but. I'm just saying that Donald Trump has a problem with it, and there are people in the service that have a problem. It's a big problem, I think, that's going on in the military as well as the world, man. So
let me talk to you, Dynasty, because there's about 2,450 transgender soldiers in the military. They could be losing their positions with the military. What do you feel about this particular ban on transgender people?
I'm trying to figure out. So you're saying the reason why Trump is going to ban transgender individuals from joining the military is because of the cost. Are you saying that the military will pay for these transgender individuals to have the sex change, or
No. They're already transgender. But let me. So there's a study that was done that that if you keep transgenders in the military, the estimated healthcare cost would rise only $2.4 to $8.4 million a year. But what Donald Trump is saying is that, hey, this is, it's too much. There's we need to be focused on a cohesion in our military, operational effectiveness, and readiness.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, not only do they cost money, even though it's minimal, but the fact is these transgender people could also affect the readiness or effectiveness. What he's saying is pretty much these people are distractions in the military.
Okay,
that's what he's saying. I think he's really getting at. But and I'm playing devil's advocate here because we have to. There are many people who are transgender, LGBT, gay, and I wouldn't consider transgender necessarily. I don't know if you can call it gay or straight, but they're definitely part of that community. One could argue that they do their jobs and just as good as anybody else. What do you say to people who have that talking point?
I don't know, just from a bigger picture. I mean, I would say this, and damn, I'll probably be on, of course, I'm going to be on record for saying this. If you look at it's just, I don't think these superpowers will take the American military as serious, knowing that you have LGBT members in your military and transgender people. As serious, because we got to think about it. If you look at North Korea's military and how serious they are and how they don't fuck around. If you look at Russia's military and look at how serious they are and how they don't fuck around. If for some odd reason, if we were to go to war and if it was more ground game versus us using our jets or our Air Force or whatnot, and it was like old school World War II on the ground, troops on the ground, that are ass kicked because it's just the mentality of it. Nobody's taking you serious and they know you. I mean, think about it. Me, you, O'Shea, Angry Man, the other brother, say we're about to get in a fight with a bunch of transgender dudes. Are we gonna take I mean, I'm not saying they can't fight.
Yeah.
But are we gonna take them serious?
Right. I can understand that.
Think about it. If you're in of the American military, and if you're a general of North Korea, and you look across the line and you see transgender. I don't know, dudes in makeup. I mean, I don't know. Like you look across the line, and you see dudes in makeup. I mean, I just think psychologically, it's like they're about to fuck these dudes up or genders up. I don't know. It's just in certain fields, just psychologically.
I see you, man. You trying to be. Let's let Angry Man go. Let's let Angry Man weigh in on this. All right, Angry Man. So what I'm hearing is also, and welcome to and this is basically the second other pill podcast we're having. Thank you to what's up for showing up, man. We really appreciate you. You really set it on fire last night, man. They're still talking about that one. Hey, listen. Apparently, the United States government or military, if a person feels that they want to become a transgender, from what I'm hearing in the chat, people are saying that the military will indeed pay for those costs. So that is covered in the military. But I know you've heard about this, Angry Man. Do you think that Donald Trump is being biased against the transgender community? Does he have something out against LGBT people? What's your opinion on him saying, "Hey, we're not gonna allow any more transsexuals in the military"?
He probably does have something against them, just knowing how Donald Trump is. But you got to separate whether or not him having something against them or him doing it because it's the best thing to do. You understand? Like, he obviously, like, Donald Trump does not strike me as the most tolerant person in the world, but he has a job to do. And, to me, it's a ridiculous priority for our military. Like, the whole point of our military is to be able to defend this country and make sure that other countries don't feel like they can just come over here and do whatever they want to do. In my own personal opinion, you know, if I wanted to be transgender or whatever, or start experimenting with my body, like, what the hell does that have to do with being a soldier? You understand? Like, at what point in our country did we get to the point where certain shit doesn't disqualify you?
Right.
Like, there used to be a time where if you behaved a certain way, your ass would get put out of the military.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? If you showed any signs, like, the whole point of basic training, logically see if you can be a damn soldier, because they need to be able to rely on whoever becomes a damn soldier. So what I'm trying to figure out is, how are you even passing the damn, like, if you want to be a police officer, you have to pass a psych evaluation.
Right, right.
Like, how can you be a soldier, police officer, any of that shit, and pass the psych evaluation when you want to do that to yourself? That doesn't make any sense to me. And then, you know, here's the bigger thing that we're not looking at, that I think Dynas pointed out, which is a very important thing. If you think about all of the threats to America right now, which is North Korea, Russia, and China. I don't know if you guys realized or not, but every last one of those damn countries step. Have y'all noticed that?
I didn't hear that last part. Can you say that?
Yeah, again.
Their soldiers, the soldiers of all three of those countries, North Korea, China, and Russia, they goose step. Have y'all noticed that?
When they march.
When they march, they're goose step.
I noticed that.
Same way.
Yeah.
The same. Let me tell you something. When you got an army that goose steps, a lot of people don't notice that shit. The toughest damn armies in the damn world goose step. I don't know if y'all noticed that shit or not. The fucking Nazis.
The Nazis is the same thing. Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
They goose step. Now, while they have, like, you know how much discipline it takes to be a goose stepping army? So we got three nations over here, China, Russia, and fucking North Korea, that are disciplined to the fucking T. Meanwhile, in America, we debating whether or not we should allow sissies in the military. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, political correctness is gonna be the death of this country. Mark my word. Political correctness is gonna be the death of this country.
Hey, O'Shea, they did a. I would say this, O'Shea. I want you to look at one of those military parades those drills that North Korea runs on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, you need to look at that shit, bro. That's some serious shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to really look at that. Like, I would not want to see, you know, and again, I live in America, but outside of us, you know, launching missiles from a carrier, a destroyer somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, if it ever comes to hand-to-hand combat, bro, it's gonna be trouble, man. I'm telling you, like you said, you just gotta watch their drills and see how serious they are. Like, I've never seen nothing like it. Just how disciplined they are. I mean, they're trained killers. Like I said, if you take out the drones, like, just say one day, I don't know, say the drones don't work one day, I don't know, or say the missiles, the Patriot missiles can't launch from the destroyers or whatever. Without a gas and shit, I don't know. If it ever comes to hand-to-hand physical combat, North Korea army versus America, or Chinese army versus America, bruh, because I know people in the military, man, and I'm just like, I mean, me and you, O'Shea, know people that we grew up with in the military, and I don't care how much training they are. I like my chances. I'll be intimidated as fuck. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I would be all that military training. I'll still fuck you up. I would be intimidated as fuck to face one of the motherfuckers from North Korea. So like,
let me say this real quick. So I gotta cut. You made a good point. But Steve, because you shared a video the other day, right? And it was I think we've all seen it. It's this transgender person that's dragging this dude in this bathroom, beating the shit out of him. Did you guys see that video? I think you shared it, Steve, right? And this was like, we thought it was a woman, but it's not a woman. That's the
Anchorman Paul commented on it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was really a chick.
No, that's a nigga. That's a nigga. So the thing about it is this, right? And I gotta play devil's advocate a little bit, because what we're saying is that
it's hard to tell, ain't it?
Yeah. Can these guys fight? I mean, these guys are transgender. Are they athletes? I mean, can they? I mean, look at Bruce Jenner. I mean, he was a fucking track star. You know, can these guys still, or girls, whatever they want, whatever they are, can they still do the job? Are they still effective soldiers? No matter if they have a weave in their head, can they still fuck you up?
No, I mean,
that's the question. Let's let Steve get to it.
I just like, I always like to say, even with the NFL, because I'm a vet myself, the military is a privilege. It's not a right. And the problem is that even though a woman trying to act like a man, trying to get in the military, she, or whatever you want to call it, she's still gonna have emotional an attachment. Just because she changes her outside body to try to be more masculine and look like a man, she's still gonna have those feminine emotional qualities that women have. Matter of fact, there was a video I think I posted this video as well. It was a transgender that was crying because it couldn't go to the bath. It couldn't go in the opposite. I guess it was a woman. I guess it was a woman dressed as a dude. Well, okay, a transgender. Wait, do we call a transgender woman a guy, or what? How do we call that shit? What do you say?
Like, I don't know.
Well,
they got 30. They got like 30 or 40 different classifications. That's how ridiculous it's getting.
Right. So, okay, we had a woman who was trying to be a man. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Crying, whimpering, crying because he couldn't go in the male's bathroom. Do you think someone like that, we put that motherfucker in the front line, or we put that in the military when shit hits the fan? If they're gonna cry because they can't go into a bathroom, what do you think is gonna happen when the bullets start flying?
I know I'm gonna catch flack for this, but to really answer the question, this will tell you how I feel about this shit. I don't even think women should be in the military.
Oh, true.
I definitely agree.
I said it on what's the day? 26th of July 2017. I said it. So come after me. I said it. And I can prove to you why they should.
Well, let me ask you this real quick, Benjamin, because somebody made a good point. Okay, what you're talking about is hand-to-hand combat, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to say, well, everybody in the military doesn't fight. You have your people who do who fix mechanics, or mechanics. Yeah. Definitely nurses. You have doctors. Shout out to my man. I ain't gonna call his name, but he's in the chat. He got a 259 on USMLE Step 1, so he's going to be a physician. He's in medical school, so you're going to have doctors in the military. So I mean, we're not saying that these people who are soldiers are considered soldiers. They're not necessarily on the we don't know if they're on the battlefield or not. We don't know if they're out there fighting. These people could be doing other things that help make the military functional without fighting. Now, at that point, are we saying that taking them off of the battlefield in whatever their respective jobs are they doing their jobs to their fullest of their ability? Does their sexual, transgender, does that matter in your opinion? I mean, if we look at it that way.
You asking me?
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as that, I mean, these people, they may or may not be fighting. If they're not fighting, should they still be in the military?
No. And the reason why I say that is because your military, if you go to war, with a country that has sufficient numbers, see, you got to realize it's been a long time since we had a real war, like a world war where you got motherfuckers dying left and right, and you got to worry about your numbers. Because even if you're a military doctor or a military nurse or a military whatever, you may have to pick up a damn gun.
Right.
Like, that's the reality of it. You may have to be called into combat. You know what I'm saying? If you got the freaking your commanding officer say, look, we need every swinging dick we can find. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we became the most powerful country in the world because of our military. And at the time, it consisted of men. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? It consisted of men. That's how we became one of the most powerful. And to this day,
still the most powerful.
If you look at any of the other countries
mm-hmm.
that right now have strong militaries,
mm-hmm.
it's mostly men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like straight men.
At least man.
No. Now, see, that's where the problem comes in right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is where the problem comes in right there. See, here's the thing. What you do behind closed doors in your bedroom is your business.
Mm-hmm.
This only became a problem when people who have certain lifestyles want to flaunt it in front of everybody. Now, I'm a heterosexual male, but you don't see me out on the fucking corner with my girl bent over. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a private thing. That's a private thing. But nowadays, we live in this day and time when people, regardless of what their lifestyle is, not only do they want to live that lifestyle, which they've always done. We've always had people who were gay. We've always had people who dressed up like women. We've always had women who've dressed up like men. This is nothing new. This has always been going on since the beginning of time. The only difference is nowadays they want to put it in your face and say, look at what I'm doing, and I dare you to be offended.
Okay, and you're right. The military definitely had a don't ask, don't tell policy when it came to sexuality. That's a great point. Let me do this. I want to give a shout out. Ray Clemens, thank you for the $5 super chat. Dark to Face, $5 super chat. The level of degeneracy is unprecedented. It's only getting worse from here. Let me go to Dynasty. We'll go back to Steve, because Steve actually was in the military. I've never been in the military. I don't know about the other people on the panel. But J.R. Wisdom was supposed to come in, but I sent him a link. Let me ask you this, Dynasty. So, I mean, I know that you live in Atlanta, right? I mean,
all right,
I'm not trying to go crazy or anything, but so I mean, when we're thinking about Donald Trump and the Republicans, white conservative, well, Donald Trump's not really conservative, but definitely the Republicans are. Are we seeing in our country a turn against the left? Is this a stand against gay people? Is it a stand against transgender people? I mean, do you feel that maybe that this is just the beginning of a revolution and that gays may end up losing some rights and transgenders may end up losing some rights? Because if this goes through, it could be a reversal?
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, every 4 years, nothing is really set in stone. Every 4 years, when a new president is elected, he can reverse you know, I guess it has an opportunity to reverse whatever it put in place. I mean, you look at it with Obamacare, you look at it with the transgender situation. I mean, it's a whole lot. So nothing is never really set in stone. And I mean, what did you expect? I mean, Donald Trump ran on a Republican platform. Of course, he's not going to want transgenders in the military. I mean, don't be surprised if he comes after gay marriage next. You know, again, that's the platform he ran on. So, and then I don't know, whatever you asked before that, I couldn't hear you because it was going in and out. I know you mentioned something about
I think you pretty much summed it up, but I guess the question is this for you and then to Steve. Is this going to cause more division in America between those who are on the left and those who are on the right? Is this going to divide the country? Because this is the reason why I'm asking right now. Since Donald Trump's been president, I was a guy that I advocated for. I'm living overseas. I've seen the U.S. dollar decline a pretty good amount since I've been over here. Do you guys think that this is going to be further division, which could actually hurt the economy more so?
I don't think so. I don't think so. There's so much more going on that transgenders in the military, I think, is small compared to the other major issues that's going on in the country. So I don't think so.
Okay, let me do this. Let me talk to Steve for a minute, because Steve, you were actually in the military. If you don't mind sharing, what branch were you in?
Army.
Army. Okay. Talk about your experience in the military. Just I guess briefly, how you got in and stuff like that. What did you?
Well, I would, for me, I think I always tell my clients it's the best thing to do if you don't know what you want to do in life, instead of just sitting around working at Walmart or Burger King. It's great. It's a great experience for those young men out there that want to learn a trade, can save some money, be able to go to college, and be able to travel the world. I mean, you can't beat it with a stick. So it was to me, it was a great experience. The best thing that I've ever done. Plus, it also gives you discipline. But we didn't have this situation we had today back then. So it was good.
What was the average day? I mean, like in the military, when you got in, how long were you in the military for?
I was in for a few years. The average day was just you woke up, you did your PT, you had your morning, you had to meet up in the morning. CEO comes down, salute, we go to breakfast, come back, we get into our groups, and then depending on what you're doing, you do that, and then you go to lunch, go back to work. Come back for the end of the day meeting. We group in front of the building, salute us, and then we break off and do whatever we want. So it was great. But I mean, the great thing about it, I mean, I was telling them you get 3 free meals a day. You don't have to pay for housing, and so that means every check you make, you can save. I mean, plus you can you put money towards a GI Bill and go to college at the same time and travel. So,
Steve, let me ask you this, Steve. As far as the training, do you think I guess, let's say North Korea, China, and Russia, their actual training, do you think is it tougher or better than the way, I guess, the United States military is trained, or just a preparation?
Well, again, I'm back in the olden days, but I've seen what y'all are talking about. I haven't seen how they train their soldiers and things like that. But I could tell you that they weren't bullshitting. If you were fucking up after everything's done, you get pulled aside and in the bathroom, and they don't play that shit. I mean, because if you're not with that strongest as a weakest link thing, and if you fucking up and not doing what you're supposed to do, everybody has to suffer, and motherfuckers don't play that shit. I mean, especially in basic training, but I can't really necessarily say, but I mean, I can say now, it seems like I know we're not disciplined. I don't think we have the discipline, because I think, again, no disrespect to Obama, but I feel that we finally got a real man in office making man moves. And I don't think the country likes the fact that he's trying to make this country more like it was back in like Angry Man was saying. It was a time where we were greatest threat in the whole world, because men were men, and we didn't take any shit, and we did what we needed to do. But now, because of being political correct, like Angry Man said again, it's a huge problem because it shows our weakness when you allow individual. Again, I have no fight in this matter, but again, like y'all were saying, if we were all getting ready to fight a group of trans like Twan and Ray and Cece, and you know, they were just like snapping and skipping, we'd be like, man, we're gonna beat the fuck out these motherfuckers. I mean, that's just the thought process, like the guys are saying on the thing, and that's what makes us weak. And the left and the transgender community, you know, they're not looking at the big picture. Again, it's going back to their feelings being heard, and our feelings. And as a man, it ain't about feelings, it's about getting shit done.
Let me ask you this, because Rodrigo, shout out to Super Chat, he says, legally, this is discrimination. On a political standpoint, if you remember, the Trump campaign consisted of false promises to the LGBT community.
So,
okay.
There used to be a time we would tell somebody like that to shut the fuck up.
Or take him around back to woodshed and fucking punch him in his mouth and call him a bitch. What the fuck you mean? See, this is the problem we have. When you have it, don't say it was that was a woman that said that shit, right?
No, it's a dude. But I mean, let's say this. He's not definitely for no LGBT thing, but
come on, man, that's some bitch ass shit.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Black people, and I'm gonna just let's interchange what he said with what the Democrats have been promising the black community for 50 years.
Right.
They've been promising that shit for many fucking years. You know, and I'm not saying that, you know, if Donald Trump promised LGBT community certain things, then, I mean, I'm not sure what he promised them because I'm not LGBT. But what I can say is they have been promising black people shit for many years.
Yes.
And nobody has a problem. But let's address his question, because I don't want to be a person that deflects. Let's address what he's saying. So what do you tell to a person that says the Trump campaign had a lot of false promises to the LGBT community? He's going back on his word. What would that say about Donald Trump, and what would that say about the conservative party?
Well, the guy. Well, I just want to say real quick, the guy saying that, I just need your address so I can send you a box of Man Maxi pads, because that's some of the bitchy ass shit I've ever heard in my life. And this is the problem we have. What man talks like that, man? What man? What you say? Politicians have been lying for fucking centuries, trying to get fucking votes. That's why they do it. What you need to do is start watching House of Cards and seeing how the game is played. They lie to you to get your vote. They don't give a fuck about you. But the fact that you're defending or even saying what you're saying, it makes me question your manhood, because what fucking man even says that shit?
Okay. Well, let's go to Angry Man. So, Angry Man, let's say legally, is this legally discrimination? I mean, because we look at where gays are, our LGBT community is in America. One could argue that they do have their rights, whether we agree to it or not, or we're like it or not. Hold on, stop the fucking show. You guys, all the people on the goddamn podcast, like the video. If you guys are coming in, like the video. We put a lot of work to get you brothers together at the same time. So do us a favor and like this goddamn video, okay? Keep the lights on. So, Angry Man, they do have rights. Okay? We cannot deny that they have rights. If Trump promised them certain things and he's going back on it, is it wrong? I mean, what's your take on it?
How did he promise? Did he say he was going to do it, or did he actually file legislation? Did he say he was going to do it, or did he actually file legislation to do it? Because if he said it, it don't mean shit till it's on paper.
Hey, there you go, fam.
That's like, yo, like, here's the thing, and I gotta say this shit, man. Now, I didn't go to the military. Sometimes I regret it. But part of the reason I didn't want to go is because I grew up in a family of dudes. Everybody went to the military. I was born on a military base.
Wow.
But luckily for me, because I was around nothing but men ever since I was freaking 1 year old, like, I understand why you have to do certain things. Like, as a man, men have to make the hard choices, okay? Even if it hurts somebody's feelings or they feel like it's infringing upon their right to fucking pick daisies or dance through a cornfield or whatever the fuck kind of shit they want to do. You feel what I'm saying? We are in a very dangerous time right now. And nobody wants to recognize it. Right now, the American dollar is declining. The American economy is not what it used to be. You know, we're spending a shitload of money on defense, which definitely should be happening because of what's going on. And meanwhile, over in the freaking East, China is rising. China is on its way. Like, I seen this shit years ago. China's on its way to being the next superpower, the next pinnacle of civilization. You understand? And for all of these people in this country that's on this liberal bullshit, we need this right. We need, like I've said it so many times, in this country, we live in a bubble. We live in a fantasy. We live in a fictitious space because we have enjoyed this long period of prosperity in America where war has not touched our soil, with the exception of, say, 9/11. And you saw what happened when 9/11 happened. Yeah. Now, that was just one day, and everybody was like hysterical, didn't know what to do. You know, just imagine if that shit was happening every single day. So, like, we're in this bubble, saying that the people who run this country, they need to be on their shit. They need to be spending money on defense. They need to be doing all of these things. Because guess what? If China comes through and takes over this country, or any other country for that matter, you think they're going to give a shit about your rights to be transgender and whatever else you want to be? Hell no. They're going to be like, look, this is the new regime. This is what you need to do. You feel me? And it can happen in the blink of an eye. A lot of people don't study history. That shit that Hitler did, that shit happened in the blink of an eye, and nobody saw that shit coming.
He took Poland in like 2 days, the whole country.
Yeah. Like that dude was like, he snatched up Poland, snatched up, what was next? France? Was it France?
He bombed them in a submission, yeah. Almost had the UK in the submission too.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Russia giving him the problems that they gave him, like, that dude would have kept going.
Well, you know what I'm saying? They got stopped in the winter. If it wasn't the winter time, yeah, they would have took Russia, because they had took most of Russia. Was going into Moscow, and they burned. What Russia did was just pretty much burn all their shit. So they basically started from cold.
Yeah. Yeah, they wasn't able to. They wasn't used to trying to fight Russia in that condition, and But you look at us, shit. You look at America. We don't have no harsh conditions over here. This is the promised land over here. Ain't no rough terrain over here. They come over here, it's a wrap. Like, y'all seen Red Dawn. It's a wrap. So what Trump is doing, he need to do. I don't like everything about Trump, but the one thing I do like about him, he reaches down from time to time, more often than most of the presidents we've had since George W. He reaches down and he grabs his balls and he fucking does what he gonna do, and he tells it like it is, and everybody hates that shit because we've become a nation of tender dick motherfuckers. That's what we become. Like we just, everything is about our feelings. Everything is about, well, I was discriminated on because of this, and the funny thing about it is the real discrimination gets overlooked. All this petty discrimination, like, oh well, Becky was discriminated against because she wasn't allowed to bring her poodle
to work
in to work or some dumb shit like that. Like, what the fuck? Who cares? Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Chinese motherfuckers eat them. Who cares? They don't care about your poodle.
He donated twice in Super Chat for $5. Al Cheddar, thank you. Let me do this. I think we have we got J.R. Wisdom, who's also ex-military. He just recently did, well, not too long ago, you were in Afghanistan. So let's hear it from you, JR, because you were putting out some points in the chat. So what are we missing here? What's going on here, brother? Welcome to the Brother Pill Podcast.
Yeah, I just like you probably was reading my comments in the chat, basically. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone who thinks that I'm gonna just say, as far as war goes, anyone who thinks that war is really about winning the hearts and minds of people from other countries is a fool. That's the first thing I want to say. And I seen a lot of people in the chat still thinking that people still fight hand-to-hand combat in war, which this isn't the Civil War anymore. This isn't. I mean, even in World War II, it wasn't even to that extent. The only people who really like actually doing that is special operations. Nobody's really like lining up like 10 columns, 10 columns or 10 rows, 10 squads deep and firing off at each other. That's not happening. And for anyone to think that the United States does not know what's going on in every other country, and to think that the United States is no longer a threat, is a fool also. You know what I'm saying? There's some stuff out there that y'all don't even know about. Y'all couldn't even imagine. Y'all watch these movies, Avengers, Iron Man, all that stuff like that. The United States got some shit. You know what I'm saying? And some stuff that you couldn't even imagine. So for anyone thinking North Korea, and the U.S. has always been the cutting edge and the spearhead as far as warfare goes, and that will never change, at least not in the near future. So as far as, questioning, transgender, there's been gays in the military since the Civil War, and you just have to understand that. Second of all, before Bill Clinton, there was nothing in place. You understand? There's always been gays. I wouldn't say as far as trans. I forgot the movie. There's been a movie about I forgot the guy, Soldier's Girl. I think that's the name of the movie, where dude was dating a transgender, and he actually got killed for dating a transgender. I think it was at Fort Campbell or something. You know what I'm saying? So there's gay people in the military. That always has been. Bill Clinton, the only reason why, because people was making a big deal about this. There was no policy in place before this. So there's always been gay people. The issue is why they're making a big deal is because I guess it's interrupting the discipline, and the leadership are sounding off, because he's talking to generals. Generals higher up are speaking with the president. They're voicing their opinions, and people within the ranks, for the most part, especially combat arms, don't want that in combat arms. So that's what you need to understand. But as far as a gay person not being able to fight, that has nothing to do with it. Or, because like I said, none of that, even hand-to-hand combat, you're aiming with stuff where you're not even looking people in the face when you kill them. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of weaponry we have. You know what I mean? So all that stuff it's not about that. And as far as, and I'm gonna close on this, as far as the budget being an issue, DOD has never had an issue with budgets. The DOD has the biggest budget in the United States. So as far as there's so much money out there y'all don't even know about. It's crazy. There's so much money being spent in Iraq and Afghanistan and numerous other countries around the world that y'all have no clue about. I was in special forces, so I know about all this money that's allocated for each group.
Let me ask you this.
budget is not the budget is not what it is. It's not about a budget. At the end of the day, if you understand war is about getting contractors rich and getting that 1% rich. It's not about winning the hearts and minds of people. When you understand that, people think it's about patriotism. It's not about patriotism. It's about lining the pockets. It's been like that since the Civil War. There's been contractors in place. So if people still think this way, that's why it's crazy that people still believe that it's about patriotism and winning the hearts and minds. And I don't care who gets mad about it and who watches this.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, JR. Then, if transgenders, and I'm not saying, I don't think anybody's here saying that a transgender person cannot fight or do a particular job task well.
Right.
But what is it about these transgender soldiers that they're causing distractions? I mean, because if they're transgender, they should look like a male or a female. So they should be able to fit in. In your opinion, what is the problem that they're causing in the military that's making Donald Trump say, okay, enough's enough?
I got out in 2012, so I kind of like missed that, but I know as far as you have like men dressing up, because you still have to dress up. You still have to wear your military dress at events, Class A's, dress blues, stuff like that. I know they don't wear Class A's anymore, but you still wear your dress blues. So if you're a man or identify, I don't know how it goes, but if you're a woman or a transgender that identifies as a man, you still have to wear a skirt because you're still a woman. You see what I'm saying? And if you're bringing your spouses and you're kissing, you're going to military balls, you're doing things like that, you're showing up, and just other things. I don't know, because like I said, I got out, so I don't know as far as distractions, but I know leadership and within the units are probably, it's going higher up to the commanding generals, and the commanding generals are expressing their displeasure or their opinions on this to Trump. That's the only way it has to go. The chief of staff obviously is expressing this to Trump. The secretary of defense, on up. So it's deeper than that. So I'm pretty sure if the commanding generals or the commanding general of the army or the chief of staff, secretary of defense, if they're not in agreement with this, then obviously he's going to listen to his commanding generals on this. It would be wise as a president to listen to your chief of staff and your secretary of defense. You know what I mean? As far as the morale and the morale of the troops and stuff like that. So,
okay, let me do this.
That's my opinion on it.
Okay, great opinion, and we definitely appreciate it because I'm not in the military. I know Steve was in there a long time ago. I don't think England.
I wanted to ask him something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, JR. Now, see, this is the issue why I brought up the budget, because every single time I do a live stream about Trump's cuts to his cuts to welfare and things of that nature, I always get people coming into my live stream talking about we spend too much money on defense. We spend too much money on defense. Now, for them is basically that the reason America is on the cutting edge, the reason America remains the spearhead is because of that defense budget. Would you agree with that?
I'm gonna come back with not a retort, but how can you, as far as the budget goes, how can you challenge a company that creates their own money? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's backed up. This is fiat currency that's backed up by nothing.
Yeah, that's a point.
So, when it comes to that, it's there's all type of stuff that's in place, man. As far as the budget, and I'm just telling you this, the DOD has the largest budget, bar none, and it's basically unlimited at the end of the day. And for anybody to complain about that, it's spent on weaponry and contractors is part of the weaponry, that arms. So I'm just saying, there's so much money. I could sit here and talk about the stuff, but I don't even think there's so much money. Like I said, I was just one contractor in Afghanistan, and I was making well over 6 figures. I was just one person. So just imagine an operation with close to 100 operating bases in Afghanistan, and you're paying local nationals, people from other countries, soldiers. You're paying all this stuff. People are eating, all of these things. Aircraft flying in and out, aircraft to be on the ground. is like $10,000 an hour or something like that, just to stay on the ground and waiting to be loaded up. There's so much money that people, but people, it's so convenient to say patriotism, winning the hearts and minds, but people are getting fucked up, people getting blown up, pockets are getting fat. These people that's never even seeing the action. You know what I mean? It's much deeper, and I would say, it's much deeper than what they would like you to think on TV or what you think these movies put out. It's much deeper, and if you study military history, you would understand that contracting is the biggest part of war.
Definitely.
And if you don't know that, that's the ultimate stimulus package for any country.
Well, that's how.
If you don't know that, you're an idiot.
That's how the Rothschilds.
I didn't know. Go ahead, Dynas.
I was saying that's how the Rothschilds became so wealthy. It was through war. It was through funding war. So no, it makes sense. You understand that? So, and also too, in my field, I deal with a lot of the contractors as well. So, and it's
right.
As far as like, are you familiar with JR? Are you familiar with Raytheon?
Yeah, I know a lot. This man, yeah, I'm from
Raytheon. There's a ton of money in that. So no, he's absolutely right.
Let me do this. I'm gonna go to Steve. I'm gonna take this for a spin. Right, this is where all black. This is the Black Manosphere YouTubers. From what I've heard, 20% of the military. I don't know if this is true, but between 15 to 20% of the military, black people. Although we're 12% of the total population, we have a higher percentage in the military. Is this true, JR?
I'll tell you like this. This is why the percentage is low, but the reason why is because of the lack of jobs. And like as a recruiter told me once upon a time, it's down south. Most of the recruits come from down south because the lack of opportunity and I'm talking about as far as the black population within the military, but they say obviously the recruiter says basically the intelligence isn't in the south, but you have the manpower in the south.
Let's talk about this. We gotta take it a spin because let's see here.
Well, I mean, you gotta divide. If I could just chime in, you have to understand the majority of these recruiting centers are in low income, black and brown communities.
Absolutely.
So, and there's a reason why, because like you said, there's just no opportunity. So you're 18. What do? You barely graduated from high school. You're not going to college more than likely. You don't want to work at McDonald's. Is join the military. So
stop the show. Speedy Coffee. Can you count, dude? I said between 15 to 20% are black. You said false. It's more whites and Hispanics in the military than blacks. Every motherfucking time I try to be civil, you niggas are so fucking slow. Can you count, nigga? God, and stop tagging me, dude. That orange, you my. If you want to fucking get my attention, super chat like everybody else is doing. Stop trying to highlight my fucking name so I can. You're irritating. Stop fucking irritating me. God damn, nigga. My bad. What were you saying, brother?
We're just speaking on how the majority of these military recruiting centers are in low income black and brown communities. Because I know in the hood. They're everywhere. They're like the nicest buildings in the hood, or the nicest offices in the hood. So, yeah.
Let me go to Steve real quick, because I definitely got recruited to go. I took the ASVAB. But let me do this, Steve, because you kind of specialize in what is called the man mindset. Now, I'm going to just break some things down. We have between 15 to 25% of the military coming out of African American. They are here. Crip walking or something. All right, damn noise. We're gonna put you on so you can quit playing. Like get to where you're going. The bus stop or something. But so let me do this. So we got 15 to 25% of people in the military black. I'm assuming the majority of those people black men. Now, out of those black men, people coming from the South, I know you lived in DC area, which is considered the southeastern place a little bit, I guess, maybe by Virginia. We have a lot of these dudes that are coming out of the military, who coming to the military from probably single mother-led homes.
Mm-hmm.
We also know that these people who identify as gay, transgender, they are more likely to be from single parent homes.
Mm-hmm.
More likely to be from single parent homes. Now, it's possible that what Trump, I'm just going to play like devil's advocate here. If those people are transgender, there's a good percentage of them that 25% of those transgender people are black. And it's a good percentage that those people come from dysfunctional black neighborhoods. So do we have a class of racism here in this? Because those transgenders could be black? Do we have, I mean, it's a class thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of people who, come from this particular gay community, they're very often, it's what I want to say. A lot of people that I know that are in that community come from either some form of abuse that I've read, I'm not sure if that's true, or they come from some lack of dysfunctional family structure. Is this, an elite thing that's pretty much putting down dysfunctional poor people, in your opinion, 20% of them being black, maybe?
Well, I don't think, because I'm all about accountability. Yes, they come from poor neighborhoods, and yes, they don't get the best education in the world, but they get some kind of education. And the thing about the ASVAB, like you say, we take it based on your score. They give you choices of things to do. They just don't throw you right into the infantry. They give you choices and things like that. In my opinion, and this is only my opinion, I don't think it's a race thing. It's something that has been going on since the 70s, really, but where they just don't want men to be men anymore. They want us to be more like women. They want us to act more feminine, and they want us to have more feminine qualities. They don't want us to be strong, mighty, and tough. They want us to be weak and fucking surrender, and I don't know, all that shit Obama was, all that bitch ass shit. I'm sorry, y'all like Obama. I'm sorry, I don't like that motherfucker. But all that goofy ass shit he was doing, apologizing, and all that other shit he was doing, it's just we just in a state of emergency. But it's a domino effect. That's the end result. But we gotta look at the first domino, O'Shea, and the first domino is usually coming from the home of these. Now again, there are some gay kids and some transgenders that have two-parent homes, but just because dad is in the house doesn't mean he's the man of the house. So
let me talk to you about this, if I can. Why is it that during the reign of Obama, did we hear, and I'm gonna ask everybody on the channel, we'll talk to Angry Man next, but why didn't Obama put the same ban that Trump is doing? Like, obviously, if what the generals and the military are saying is true, hey, Obama, these guys are these people, these transgenders, they're distracting, they're a threat to the cohesiveness of our military. Why didn't Obama take the steps that Trump's taking? Why didn't we hear the big issue then, and now we're hearing it now?
Well, I just feel like, and it's just my opinion, I'm sorry, guys, I just feel Obama was he hated the military, in my opinion. He was always apologizing for shit. He would go to these Middle Eastern countries and apologize for shit. I'm from the old school. I don't apologize. You don't apologize for the shit you do. But again, under him, he was all about peace, love, happiness. Everybody's equal, and on the real, we all aren't equal. Nobody's equal. Now there's different classes, but he came with this piping bullshit of, okay, you can be transgender and it's okay. I'm Obama. It's okay, Michelle made me do it. And that little bitch ass shit. But again, I'm sorry. I just never liked him because I think that he really wasn't running shit. I think it was his wife running shit.
Okay. Let me talk to Angry Man about that real quick. Angry Man, why are we not hearing this same problem? In other words, why isn't Obama say anything about this? Why are we just now hearing about it now? There's a problem with the cohesiveness in the military, and now in action. It's something that Obama heard, he thought, and just ignored it, or
because Obama was the first gay president.
There you go. You got your cigarette in your mouth, Angry Man, when you say that?
Oh man,
he was the first gay president. And I know everybody just listening to that gonna think I'm taking a shot at him. Isn't that what Newsweek said? Isn't that what the cover said? The first gay president. That's what it said. Like, I'm from the old school. If you put something in my face, I'm not gonna try to find no hidden deeper meaning. You know what I'm saying? Like Maya Angelou said, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Right.
Like, he posed for the cover. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's right there in your face. It says, like, if somebody was to say to me, pose for this cover that you're the first gay, like you're the most popular gay YouTuber, I'm gonna be like, first of all, I'm not gay. Like, what are you talking about? And his agenda showed what he was about. So he wasn't gonna say anything about this whole situation because he was for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, his agenda was for it.
Let's talk about this real quick. I know this is a little bit off, but I think that it's something that we need to speak on. I'll let you answer this, and we'll go to the Dynasty, and then we'll go to JR. And shout out to the brother Cash, $2 super chat. Check out a movie called Lord of War. It's a sneak peek of what really goes on when it comes to contractors.
That was good.
With Nick Cage, right?
Yeah, that was good.
I'm gonna check it out. Here's what I want to say. Right, let's talk about the power that the gay community has. We gotta talk about that. In the transgender, because I was afraid to even do this podcast because of fear of having it flagged down because the gay community that's strong, the LGBT community. So this is not a shot at them or anything. But what you just said was true. The LGBT community was able to pretty much dominate the Democratic Party after Obama's first election, 2000, 2004. He was against gay marriage. He lost a good percentage of the white vote, and then he picked up those who were sympathetic to gays in the second election. But the people who did support him in both elections were black people. Now, 98% black turnout voting the first election. Second election, 93% vote. Now, how is it that the gay community can come together and pretty much buy the president, and black people who have I would assume, a much larger population? Because people who are probably in the gay community, you probably have those who are gay who don't want to admit that they are gay. But what is it that black people can learn from LGBT people and those who are sympathetic to them? Is there something that black people are not catching on?
Black people, there's a couple things. Black people as a collective do not have an agenda at all.
Say it again. Say it again.
Black people as a collective do not have an agenda at all. You got to understand.
Right now, just on that.
I don't like Obama as well. And when I would go on Facebook and talk about how Obama didn't do anything for black people, here were the black people, the black liberal. This was the typical black liberal response. Barack Obama, everybody's president. He ain't just black folks president. But then, as you can see, when you bring up, he did stuff for the LGBT community. He went hard for the non-black illegal immigrant community. But when it came to the black people, to the black collective, to hold Obama accountable for anything. They just gave him a pass, which I don't understand. So that's what it is. It's just black people as a collective do not have an agenda, and they refuse to hold Obama accountable for anything. So
that's a great point. Let me do this. Let's go back to Angry Man. Let them get on this. We'll go to JR and then back to Steve. We got to actually look at this, and I'm not gonna say the black community. What can because we have a lot of brothers here, Angry Man, me and you, Steve. We are popular black male YouTubers. We reach to a black male fan base. What is it that I know it's gonna sound kind of no homo? What can we as a black male community, because I always say fuck the black community because they already said fuck us. What can the black male community do? What can we learn from what the gays did?
The first thing that we can learn is to stop making excuses and get shit done. Like, one of the biggest things that I've pointed out numerous times is that what the LGBT community has done, they've done it in a fairly short amount of time.
Yes.
And the reason why they done it in a fairly short amount of time is because they wanted it bad enough. Like, they wanted it bad enough. Like, they hijacked the civil rights movement. And from there, they just kept rolling. They just kept doing. I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest things they've done. Gay people made sure that they got people in key positions in this country. They made sure they got people in politics. They made sure they got people in certain corporations. They made sure they got people in legislation. They got, like, there's a joke on Entourage where Ari Gold's assistant is gay, and he jokes about the gay mafia. You know what I'm saying? Where basically they have linked up and put themselves in certain positions so that they could always see. Here's the thing with black people, and the reason why we can't do the same thing. The reason why we can't, because we were able to do the same thing. We call it the spook that's set by the door. And you know, BGS has spoken about it numerous times. But the problem is when gay people dance or coon or whatever you want to call it, they're doing it to get themselves in a certain position, and they stay true to their cause. You understand? Now they may have to put themselves in positions the way they got to listen to BS or had to listen. That was back then. And then they waited till they got to the position where they can make their demands. And now they complain because they got the power to complain. Black people don't do that. What we do is we get in certain positions, and the rest of us will get jealous of those positions because of the crab in the bucket mentality. We talk shit about those people that's in those positions, the spook that's set by the door. And instead of waiting, instead of having an agenda that we all can get behind and pushing that agenda with those people that are in positions, and then we got people that are in positions that do idiot shit like Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? So we don't wait until we have the ability to complain. Like I said before, America is like a corporation. And if you want a seat at the table, if you want a seat in the boardroom, you got to have a certain percentage of America. You got to be a stockholder. You know what I'm saying? Black people are not stockholders in America because we don't include ourselves in the process. We're too busy trying to say, shit, nigga, I'm an African or I'm this or I'm that. You can have African heritage. But if you want to be able to have some say-so in this country, you got to know how to play the game without selling out. You know what I'm saying? And once you get to the table, then you can complain. We complain with no bargaining chips.
None.
Like all the time. We complain and we don't have a single damn whatsoever. We show up like, it's like showing up to a restaurant and talking about some, man, y'all need to clean this motherfucker up, and you ain't even bought a sandwich yet. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, look at you like, what? You get the hell out of here. Take that shit down the street. You know what I'm saying? So like we and the biggest thing is black people always try to say this, oh, well, we can't turn it around. It's too far gone. The community's too messed up. Like, yo, you can look at the LGBT community. They went from having to be in the closet and being shunned and being ridiculed in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? To be in a group that you can't even criticize.
Yeah, man. They used to you could be talking shit about people, man. It was always open season on their ass, man. You could beat them up, everything.
Yeah. But not no more. Because they did what they needed to do. You know, and they didn't like, if you look at one of the things about gay people defend each other regardless. I don't give a damn what the circumstances is. They defend each other regardless. Like, yo, you say something about a gay person around another gay person, like, what? What you say, motherfucker? Like they're not playing that shit. But us, man, we just so divided and just focus on petty shit. And it's ridiculous, man. It's sad to even talk about this shit, man.
Let me hit is JR. I guess the same question, you know, I'm asking also you, is there something that black people we can gain from, you know, what we've seen, what gays are able to accomplish, you know, in America? I'm not even gonna say black community, because black women are, and the reason why I say fuck the black community, and I don't mean it as I say it, because the black community to me is very female catered to. When you say the black community, you're talking about is black women. That's what they're saying. Because black men are not really considered a part of the black community, if you really want to be honest. We all know that. We're all on this panel. We already understand the black community that doesn't really have a place for us. If they do want us there, is to kiss women's asses. But let's talk about a group, and also black women are a protected group. So really the only people who are not protected is us. What can black men learn from the gay community? Because, you know, we are in dire straits right now, brother. What do we get? What don't we get as black men? The gay people do get, and how can we better our chances as a new force that needs to be respected in America, in this country?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can still have. Okay. Well, the first thing obviously is and I guess I think Valdez kind of talked on it or whatever, but that solidarity that can come with black men, I guess what we're failing to realize, or what we haven't spoke on, is the gay community, LBGT, you know, whatever, that blurs all color lines. That's the common denominator for all races in the United States. You have gay people, you have LBGT, every race, ethnicity, whatever in the US. So it's a common, I don't want to say issue, but it's a common thing. Well, it is an issue, common issue amongst, no matter what your race is. It happens, you know, everybody in your family, you know, different people in the family, doesn't matter, you know, who you are. So they have, obviously, because it's affecting all races, they can come together more so as solidarity, because this is affecting all people. You know what I mean? Kind of like if, you know, a disease that a pandemic, you know, they're not going to take it seriously until it's basically major in every single community, regardless of the color. So it blurs, this LBGT blurs all color lines. So that's why they're able to get much more support than just this small 11-12% of black Americans. I mean, males is less than, I don't know the exact percentage of males, but obviously 11-12%, whatever the percentages of black people in the United States, but obviously it's much lesser.
About 5%,
6%, 7%, something like that. Yeah. So you got all these people, you know, which is a common issue for, you know, regardless of that. So that's why I feel like, and this is being brought up, that's why I feel like they have much more of a platform because of all races. It affects all of them, as opposed to just black people. You know, but as far as solidarity amongst black men, I guess that's the question that you know, we've been asking since civil rights, and that you know, Louis Farrakhan has been pushing for, you know, and it still hasn't happened, because he's steady preaching about it's going to happen. Today is that day. He's been saying that for 50 years. Today is that day, and that day hasn't come yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's a hard question as far as that, but you got to realize that it's basically, it blurs this LBGT. You know, that's all I got to say about it. It blurs all color lines. So, you know.
Yeah, that's one thing that's I noticed about, you know, with gay people. There's not a lot of racism that I can see. I mean, it could be, I'm not sure, but you don't hear a lot of racism. And also another group that's like that, and they're also very powerful. What am I going to say here? The Jews, right?
I wasn't gonna say that, but you got it. Yeah.
The Jews, they're not all white, man. You know, they're Iranian Jews, they're black Jews. And you know, maybe in Israel they have that problem, but in America they don't see color. You know, in this country at least, it doesn't stop them. You know, they have. You know,
I gotta disagree with that one, because I mean, when you're talking about Jews, definitely the white Jews control
Eastern European.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Eastern European Jews. Mm-hmm. Everything and decide who's going to be a Jew or not. So
well, you know, I'm not saying that, but definitely, you know, what I'm saying is that in America you have Jews that come from Iran. You have Jews that are from. What I'm saying is that they're also a group that doesn't see. You know, once you're with them, it's like their religion is over color. Do you understand? Because the Jews, if anything, they're white ones. They hate white. I mean, I'm not gonna say they hate white people, but they definitely don't look at them as part of them. Yeah, Jews, they have it's us against you, fuck you, kind of attitude.
Well, but at the same time, if you look at black Jews like the Falashans in Ethiopia, you have Nigerian Jews, you have the Jews in Zimbabwe, like the white Jews aren't looking out for them.
I'm talking about in America, those who are in America.
Even in America, like, they're not looking out for the black Jews, if that makes sense. So
okay. We'll see. Go ahead.
I get what O'Shea is saying, but there's one key factor that is separating the Jews and the gays. The Jews are successful, like super successful, and they've been that way for a while now. So because of the fact that they're super successful, they're going to start to divide up into their different class systems and all of that stuff, because that's what happens once you become a group that's a successful group. The gays haven't divided up into their different sectors yet. We're starting to see it. It's getting ready to start. They haven't divided up into theirs because they're still fighting their fight. You see what I'm saying? So you have anytime you have an issue that's big enough to bring a group together. So with gays, what brought them together was the discrimination against gay people. So they can't ignore the fact, you know, if this person is gay, that's my brother, or this person is gay, that's my sister. That whole thing. It's the same thing with the Jewish people. If we all of a sudden just saw anti-Semitism at an epic level, you would see a different behavior with Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? With us as black men, here's the thing that we can't get past is we can't get past it because of the history of it and because we still view it as a current issue. If men, period, not just black men, but if men, period, don't come together against gynocentrism, we're gonna stay in a messed up state. And you know what you were talking about with black men, like, as much as I hate to say this, like we need numbers, and we don't have the numbers. And the crazy thing about it is we don't have the numbers, and we're still dividing ourselves. Like, we already don't have the numbers, and now we're dividing ourselves based on, well, O'Shea, you're darker than me, so you're not part of my group. I'm lighter, so we're over here, and it's stupid shit, man.
Let me ask you this: when you say the numbers, and I'm gonna go to Steve after this. When you say we don't have the numbers because we're at least 20 million of the U.S. population. Can you define what you mean when you say the numbers?
We don't have the numbers unified under the same banner.
I see.
We don't have the numbers unified under the same banner to the point where, like, for instance, if you look at not the Jewish people, but if you look at the gay people, if you look at homosexuals, part of the reason is just like what J.R. Wisdom was saying. You know, it blurs color lines. So you're going to have gay white men that are in positions of power. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're going to have gay white women that are in positions of power that you might have gay black men that may not have been in that position of power. But guess what? Now they're able to get a job at this particular corporation because they're gay.
Right. Okay. I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, us black men, we're pretty much fighting a fight alone because there's black men out here that they don't even want to take the wisdom of another racial group because it comes from another group. Like you have brothers out here that don't even want to practice certain strategies that a white man practices because of the simple fact that he's a white man. You see what I'm saying? So we don't have the numbers under the same banner. You know what I'm saying? Of course we have the issues we have from slavery and from what we call white supremacy. But let's just be honest. Is every single white person in America, is every single white dude our enemy? No. Let's just be honest.
No.
See, that's what we can't get past. We can't get past that.
Let me talk to Steve about this real quick because you make a great point. Steve also offline, online. Steve, your dad's an attorney. What's his? And he's also is on MSNBC, right?
Yeah, man. yes.
I know you're trying to keep it on the low, but so that conservative is in your blood. But well, let's talk about this, Steve, because you are a person that you have your own business. As I think most of us on this panel has some form of. I know Dynasty works in corporate America, but we all have some sort of business that we have some small business. Your clientele is for the most part, non-black male clientele. Mm-hmm. What Angry Man just said was a hard-hitting fact. We don't take the time as black people or black men to take advice from other successful groups of men or study them.
Right.
How did you mold your business to make it successful? And who were you looking at? Who were you studying? And is that a problem that we have as black people? Do you agree with Angry Man with that? Or?
Well, yeah. Well, that kind of goes with the question which you asked about the gay community. They don't see color or race. They just it's just who they are. You know, they don't. You know, when they trying to get their point across, they're not rioting and they're not trying to bust up shit. They doing shit peacefully, but they getting things done to a point where even the NFL or you look around, any major company will not fuck with them. They have done shit where nobody will fuck with them. They have slowly come along quietly and came along. But to answer your question, my whole thing is I'm just about business. I'm about green. I don't give a fuck what color you are because what I'm teaching you doesn't have a color. So I don't try to divide one man from another. To me, because a mindset has no color or has no race. I mean, we all have them. So it's just that what I was taught was that, you know what, be about your business, invest, reinvest, grow, and work with those that really appreciate you and will buy into you. And unfortunately for me, it was just the white, Spanish, Chinese, Indian, and I do have black clients. I do have those, but you know, it's my whole thing is I would love to help everybody, but unfortunately for me, I can only speak for myself. Unfortunately, I have a small percentage of black clients, But then I have then I have a higher percentage of black individuals that want me to give them discounts, give them stuff free. Hey man, you know, I ain't got it. I can't do it. Can you do it? And again, I'm not complaining because I do have a few other races that do that. But my whole thing is I'm about my business. You know, my thing is that there are other races that are doing the same thing I'm doing. They're charging higher prices than that. They charge $3,000 to $5,000 for a 3-day boot camp. You know what I mean? And people are buying that shit. I'm not even charging that high, but I keep my prices reasonable. But again, I'm going for the high end guy that wants to invest in himself. And you know, it's just that's a tough question to ask because again, I'm not saying that black men don't have the money, but I've always learned that just, you know, from black individuals as well as white individuals. I'm an avid watcher of Shark Tank. I tell everybody that's one of my favorite shows, Shark Tank. I tell everybody. Again, I get called a coon and Uncle Tom for it, but I try to tell black men that the important thing about this is that these individuals on that panel are billionaires, and they're coming on every week for an hour to give you advice on how to start your business. And for a lot of individuals, they rather, you know, buy a pair of $5 Jordans, like I've always said, instead of invest in Nike and get a return on the investment. Because I mean, it's just a mentality that, you know, again, I look, there's bad shit out here, but what saddens me as a black man is that people died, lynched, bit by dogs, chewed. I mean, just all kind of fucked up shit for us to have the opportunities that we have today. And what are we doing with them? I mean, you can, you know, people want to complain that, well, I can't find a job. Well, then start a fucking business. We have the internet is not racist. Now, again, there's racist people.
Say that again.
The internet is not racist. There are racist people on the internet, but the internet is not racist because you can create your own business on the internet where you can work from home in your pajamas and make paper. But again, a lot of, and again, it's not, I'm just saying, not just saying black. There's a lot of look, let's just say lazy. I won't put a color on it. There's a lot of lazy people who feel like it should be handed to them. And the last thing I want to say to this is that, look, and I'm not trying to be mean, it's going to sting a little bit. So y'all need to sit down. If the government gave the majority of black people 40 acres and a fucking mule, they would waste they would waste the land. They would kill the mule and they wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it because they don't realize that if they give you anything, you got to pay taxes on shit. If you ain't got the tax money for it, they're going to confiscate your land back. But again, they still begging for something that if it was given to them, they wouldn't even know what to do with it themselves. And not to knock them, because a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, no knock. But if you're given something and you don't understand business 101,
right,
you're gonna fuck up. That's the thing. It's understanding business, and business doesn't have color. Like I say, business is about green. That's the bottom line. Green.
Hey, I'll put a color to it.
Go ahead, man.
I'll put a color to it. Black folks. Number one.
Yeah, I'm
black
for that scene. Yeah.
Black folks have it because I saw Bronze Beauty, shout out to her. She said other races spend it because they good for it. Black folks is good for it too.
Mm-hmm.
Black folks have it. The only difference between black folks and a lot of other races, yeah, black folks have poor money management.
Yeah.
Now y'all can call me. Everybody watching this can say, "Oh, he coon," and you can call me a coon if you want to. I don't give a damn. I tell black folks straight like it is. Black people have poor money management. Black people would rather pay the price to look nice instead of paying the cost to be the boss.
Right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the problem is. That's one of the things. When I was a barber, okay, brothers would come in to get their hair cut, and they pay $12 a cut, right? They pay $12.
$1987, $12 a cut.
You just give them a deal.
Yeah. Well, where I was at, they was paying $12. That's the going rate where I was at in that part of Eden. So, you know, they coming in there, they getting tight haircuts. This shit is on point.
Right.
And let me tell you something right now. It is harder. I'm gonna say this again. It is harder to cut a black person's hair than it is to cut a white person's hair. Personally, for me, it is. All right, it's easy to cut white people's hair. You just go through it real quick with some scissors and shit and fade it and all of that. White folks would come in there, white folks and Mexicans, white dudes, Mexican dudes. They come in there, they get their hair cut. They didn't put nothing in my hand less than a $20 bill.
Appreciation.
I didn't ask them for a $20 bill, but they didn't put nothing in my hand less than a $20 bill.
Right.
When I was a tattoo artist, brothers would come to get tattoos. They wanted a deal. If I told them it was 100, they wanted to pay 50. All right. But something that's gonna stay on him. And let me just say this to all the people that want to go get tattoos. It's not a good idea to talk down the price of a man that's getting ready to put a permanent tattoo on you.
Yes.
I got 2 sleeves, and I was paying. I think it was like $150 an hour, and I knew this was gonna be permanent, so I didn't argue or bad.
Never argued.
I just dropped the
yeah. Because the dude, you want him to be putting his best effort forward.
Yes. There it is.
Yes.
You want him, and see, I had as a tattoo artist, I had a light touch. So, you know, I could tattoo somebody and it's not gonna be too painful. I know tattoo artists that'll put that needle to your ass just because you fall from that. You feel what I'm saying? But I had white people that would come and get tattoos from me, and Mexicans. And if I told a white person that the price was $100, they'd give me $150. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because a lot of people think it's because, well, they got it. No, they have it, but the reason they spend like that is because they are taught differently. You understand what I'm saying? They have a different mentality when it comes to money. They understand when they go somewhere, if they want the best service, they got to pay for it. They understand that. Right? You understand? If you want the best service, you got to pay for it. Let me tell you something. I like what Steve said about money, because green is the most important color. Let me tell you something. Every place that I've ever went and I tip very well, I've never been so many sirs and all types of shit.
Yeah.
They don't care about me being black. Like, oh, right this way, sir. Where would you like to sit? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let me get that for you. Let me get that for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you gotta pay the cost to be the boss, and black people don't understand that. They don't understand that, man.
Well, listen. Let me do this. It's an excellent podcast, man. Wow, I know Steve has to go, and I have a personal show I gotta do for my Patreons tonight. So let me do this. You guys are in the chat. Hit the like video. Angry Man, are you streaming again tonight? Are you done? Or?
I might stream something tonight.
Okay,
I'm not sure. So
because I was just saying you want to get ahead, so I can do it right now. But so Angry Man will be streaming later on the night. This will be my only live stream because I actually got to do one more private thing for my damn group. So really, I want to thank all you guys for coming on. Tomorrow we'll be back again. I'm trying to do these things daily. I don't know. How do you guys like this? I mean, those on the panel. Do you guys like this kind of daily kind of podcast thing we've been doing? You guys like that?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Again, I go back to Shark Tank. It's better to have one shark. It's better to have 5 or 4 sharks than one. Yeah, I think it's great because you get great knowledge from successful black men, and that's something that a lot of people aren't getting nowadays. Okay,
cool. So I thought, like, I would just keep, because I've been doing kind of like the group hangouts. I'm like, you know what? Let me just keep it pushing. And sometimes, like a topic like this is something that probably individually none of us would ever talk about.
No,
I know damn sure Steve ain't gonna talk about this on this channel. Angry Man might talk about it. Dynas, not so much. JR Wisdom, I don't really know, but I know like stuff like this is good because it kind of brings the community together over here. So once again, I thank you guys for coming over to the platform. If you guys want to shout your channel out, we'll start with JR Wisdom.
Yeah, y'all can hit me up at JR Wisdom. Obviously, like O'Shea said, that's my channel. Y'all can just type it in. I know I can't put the link in the description because it ain't gonna show up. I mean, not in the description.
I'll put all the links in the description to everybody's channel so you guys could go there.
Check me out for all the motivation and all that good stuff, religion, relationship, all that good stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all tuning in.
All right, cool. Dynas, what up with your player?
What up, man?
Here, Dynamic Flat Top.
You got that right. Hold on. Get you some of this shit right here, O'Shea. None of that shit. You get some napping gel. I just had my napping.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
Give it the called napping gel.
Oh, the train is going off the tracks.
When you get your hair transplant, get you some of this shit. Let her S-curl, get you some napping gel.
Man, look, if I get my S-curl back, I'm gonna go tell them bitches I'm black and Cuban. I'm gonna be on my Sammy Sosa shit, nigga. I'm gonna take all you niggas bitches. This is gonna be all your fat bitches gonna be mine. Oh my. I want the fat bitches. Give me them. Ooh, my girl listens.
Yeah, but,
I don't want no fat bitches.
Yeah, but
I'm here get slapped, man. I want to show them shit.
Search for Uhuru. All one word. Search for Uhuru. On my social media, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Search for Uhuru here on YouTube. Make sure you guys follow me and subscribe to my pages. And once again, thank you, O'Shea, for allowing us to come on your platform, man. Really appreciate it.
Cool. Okay, and then so I'll put everybody in the description that was on the show tonight. Don't worry. So you guys, you want to follow them, just go to the description. What up, Angry Man? So we're gonna let Angry Man. He been on fire, man. These first two Butterfield podcast, dude. He's like Air Morris from NBA Jam. He's on fire. I can't even do my thing, man, because he be on fire. So I'm like, yo, man, let me get it out.
I'm trying to do my Michael Jordan thing, man.
You definitely doing it. I mean, you and Steve been carrying, especially when we had Jimmy and y'all was carrying him, and I was just over here agitating shit. But
oh yeah, that was a massacre right there, man.
That was crazy. Did you guys see Steve the Dean and Angry Man pull like a 1-2, like basically damn near ran an intellectual train on Jimmy last night.
Oh, tag team demolition style.
It was crazy, dude. It was. But go ahead and shut your channel out, Angry Man.
Yeah, man. Y'all check me out on the Angry Man channel on YouTube. You can also check me out on social media, Facebook, the Angry Man channel, Twitter at Angry Man channel, Instagram at Angry Man channel, and Snapchat _Angry Man. Y'all know where to find me. Or you can just, I noticed ABL said, you could just Google me and it'll come up. I said, oh shit, let me check and see if mine comes up. So you can Google the Angry Man channel and my stuff will come up, man.
All right, cool. And then so also I know if you guys want to this is a great hangout. If you guys want to download it, put it on your channels, man, definitely do that because more people need to see it. So anybody that always comes in, man, just download it, put it on your channel if you want. We need to get the word out there. So all you brothers are really helping participate and build up this sort of platform. And Steve the Dean, last but certainly not least.
Hey, first off, I want to say thank you to the panel. I appreciate y'all as fucking men. Finally, it's just rare to meet men that fucking talk. So it's a refreshing thing to do. Also, to thank you to the chat room out there for y'all being able to take time out of y'all schedule to listen to these great men talk. I want to say thank you to you guys, and also the man behind the mic, O'Shea himself. Thank you as well for having me on. I appreciate every time you have me on. I really do. For you guys, y'all can just go to themanmindset.com. All the information's there, Facebook, YouTube, and things like that. And I just want to say thank you. I appreciate the chat room, O'Shea, and these men, man. It's great. And now when you add them bitches on there, now we got to talk a little bit. But other than that, it's cool. Cause y'all make Angry Man put his cigarette in his mouth and shit. Y'all get back the fuck up. Don't make him do that shit.
I talked to Angry Man a little bit off the because you guys know that bad. Shout out to Space Bro. Hey, thank you for everybody who's congratulating me on thank you, Chaz Brown. Appreciate you guys. Thank you too, brother. Everybody's congratulating me about the 40,000 subs I hit on the main channel. I'm not gonna make no like 40,000 subscriber. I'm happy video. I never do that. Thank you guys. It's really just you. Going forward, I really don't give a fuck about those subs. I know that's crazy, right? I care about the people who want that support and would like to listen to our come over, listen to, and tell people about. Because everybody who sub you don't fuck with you like that. You know what I mean? You got people who sub you just because they just want to see what you're gonna say, but they don't care about you or about your message. So what I really care about is that if we only have 100 or 200 people who really care about what's going on, what we're trying to say, that's what I really want. So thank you for those who actively participate, who watch all of our channels. And one thing that I do want to say is tomorrow, I do want to bring the ladies back, but there were a few brothers that was like, really wasn't feeling that. But I don't give a fuck what you're feeling. We're going to bring them back. We're going to bring like 4 girls back. And then if you guys want to come on, it's going to be like a big house party in this bitch. I think I might call it the house party, brother. I don't know. And I might get somebody twerking on this motherfucker. I can't. Oh, shit.
What's the topic going to be, O'Shea? What's the topic?
Fuck.
How they should suck a dick and shut the fuck up? I mean, make a sandwich?
Yeah, no,
I'm just playing.
Listen, we're gonna have some women on here, and the women that we had brought on last time wasn't like bad looking or nothing like that. So it's fun. It's fun to interact with women every now and then. And,
it is. I agree. I agree. Don't want to be a bunch of.
Did you see the show last night, Dynasty? We had the girls on here.
No, I wasn't. But you definitely don't want to be around a bunch of Harleys all day. So I understand. You got to break it up.
Well,
we got some lookers too, bro.
I think it's good because these young men need to also see how black men interact with women, because that's something that they rarely see as well. They hear us talking that yak, but it's good to see Angry Man in full effect with the cigarette in his mouth, being like, "Bitch, don't make me take this cigarette out my mouth." Attitude, you know what I mean? It's good to see that kind of shit, because it's like, damn, that's how you handle shit.
Yeah, so and the females that we brought over, none of them YouTube. They were new to YouTube. Yeah, I think 2 of them, they had just downloaded the Google Hangout app right before they clicked the link and came on. So I don't know if you guys know, I do have a Facebook group that me and my boy just created. It is a lot of simps in there, and actually, it's a lot of simps. Steve, you in my group.
I'm in your group. Hurting
Angry Man in my group, right? I don't know if Angry Man actually licks the wall, but there are a lot of simps in there, right?
Oh man,
I've seen the wall. I think I've seen the wall. Right?
It's bad. Right? It's bad, man.
It's bad. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring Thor's hammer over there
and a cigarette.
Yeah, but we're gonna bring. We want to bring. We're trying to build a community. Here in the Black manosphere, and it's evolving. It's evolving. Like, we first of all, like Jap and Steve, you guys are running OBS with the kind of like the effects. That was like something we never had before. Now we have this daily podcast. People just can jump on. We can just talk about anything that's trending, that's good, and then we can be bringing the hoes. And so. I mean, because I can't really just, I want to say things loud. Because, articulation over there. So, I'm out here lightweight, being a pancake. But hey, shit, I gotta go to sleep tonight, nigga. I want to get my ass whooped while I'm sleeping, I'm fucking around with y'all on YouTube. But we're gonna bring it back tomorrow. You know what I mean? So if Angry Man would like to come back, definitely, man, he's always welcome to come back. All the brothers and stuff. Right now. A few other brothers too. You just contact me ahead of time and we can get you on. So shout out to everybody on the panel. Dynas, I don't know if he's gonna be lifting weights tomorrow, but I need to do push-ups. More push-ups and leave.
He can do a handstand on that flat. He can just get on the flat and just do it like this.
That nigga got that 1990 Scotty. The free throw line shooting like this. But, all right, so listen, guys. You guys want to come on tomorrow? I'll set the show up again. We'll bring the people. It'll be hilarious. I'll pick a fucked up topic. And just rock with it. So every day on this channel, same time, I'm gonna do this every day that I can. We'll just do one of the podcasts like this. Whoever wants to come on, it's a free for all. Bring your ass on, and we just go at it.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Peace out. I'm out this bitch.
All right, peace out, guys. Thank you, man. Peace.